third graders, this is for lesson 127 on Wednesday, March 18th, the last day of winter. Spring is coming. I know we've already had spring weather, but the official day on the calendar is tomorrow. All right, we're going to get started with language today and adjectives, okay? Yesterday we started talking about adjectives. An adjective is a word that describes a noun. A noun is our person, place, or thing. An adjective answers two questions we've talked about so far, which is what kind and how many. We're going to add another question later. We're going to go over an example on the board so that we can find our adjectives in our sentence. And then we're going to learn our next question. So if you can look on the board, my first sentence up here says, the large elk stood near the two tall pine trees. So we want to find our adjectives. What words are describing our nouns? Elk is our noun. The word describing our noun is elk. So I'm going to draw a box around large, and I'm going to draw an arrow to elk so it shows that it's describing their noun, elk. The large elk stood. Go ahead and divide our sentence, and then this is our verb, stood. So sometimes our adjectives can be, well, not sometimes, anytime our adjectives can be anywhere in the sentence. So the large elk stood near two tall pine trees. Add in my S there. So trees is our noun. Okay, we have pine describing it, tall describing it, and two describing it. So we're going to draw arrows from two, tall, and pine, all to tree. It tells what kind of tree and how many trees we have. Okay, so the large elk stood near the two tall pine trees. Now we have today, the sky is blue. So if we divide our sentence, sky is our subject, is our verb. Okay, and we have blue. What is blue describing? Well, it's describing the sky. So I've boxed it, and I take it back, and we actually go on the other line where we've divided our sentence, and it describes sky. So sometimes they're going to be right before it, and sometimes it will be other places in the sentence. So we've talked about what kind, we've talked about how many, and now if you can see, our next question is which one. So with our adjectives, we can ask ourselves what kind, how many, and then which one. Our sentence here says, may I have that pencil? Okay, well, which pencil? That pencil. Okay, David took the third book. Book is our noun over here. So third is describing book. Which one? The third book. Chloe celebrated her 8th birthday. What birthday did she celebrate? The 8th. Which one? So we're going to answer questions that are what kind, how many, and which one with our adjectives. And so an adjective is a word that describes a noun. If you look on page 143, you will see it reminds us of what I just told you about an adjective. And then an adjective may answer one of these questions. What kind, how many, and which one? On Think A, it says, describe each noun by writing an adjective that answers each question. Your noun is shirt. What kind of shirt, how many shirts, and which shirt? Okay, so you could say what kind, the red shirt, how many, 3 shirts, which one, that shirt. Okay, Think B, circle the adjective in each group of words. 2, in the blank before the words, write the question the adjective answers. So you're going to circle the adjective. In huge tree, you would circle huge because huge is describing tree. And then in the blank, you're going to write the question, what kind? What kind of tree was it? It was a huge tree. Then you look at number 2, it says that car. So that would be your adjective. And then our question would be what kind, how many, which one? Well, it's that car, so it would be which one. In right C, it says in each blank, write a good adjective to describe the purple noun. So you can use whether it's what kind, how many, or which one. It can answer any of those questions. Okay, so that's language for 127. I need to erase the board for just a second to get our math up here. Okay, today's math lesson is 127, and it is a review lesson. So there, I want to go over a few math problems on your pages today for review. I wanted to go over on page 253, I wanted to go over number 1B. says Mrs. Williams had 27 feet of cloth. She used 3 yards of it. How many yards does she have now? Okay, this is going to be one of our conversion of measures, and we're also going to have to subtract. So I want to go over this with you, make sure we all understood. So it says Miss Williams has 27 feet of cloth. So in my box, I'm going to write 27 feet. And then it says she used 3 yards of it. So minus 3 yards. And then it says how many yards does she have now? So we want to know how many yards. Okay, so we're going to go to the one that's different. This is feet. We need to turn it into yards. This is the one that we box. We minus our 3 yards. And then we're going to find out how many yards. So we do our 1, 2, 3, special number. Okay, you have feet to yards, so smaller to larger, divide. Okay, and then you have to know how many feet are in a yard. And then we're going to take divide by 27. So 3 goes into 27 9 times. So 9 minus 3 equals 6 here and 6. And that is your answer. So hopefully if you get stuck on that one, you can watch that and see. Number 2, it says divide and write each remainder as a fraction. Number 3, divide and check. 4, follow signs. 5, follow signs. Number 6, I'm going to come back to in just a second. Number 7 says find the fractional part. Remember, you divide 24 divided by 6 there. Just divide the denominator with the whole number they gave you. 8, reduce the lowest terms. Find the biggest, or you're going to divide by the one that will go into both numbers and find your lowest fraction. Solve these equations. Why don't we do A on the board? I know we had a little bit of trouble with those, so let's review. I'm doing number 9A on the board. Okay, so remember we always start in parentheses. 7 times 8. Remember what that is? We have 56. 2 plus 56 minus 4. So 2 plus 56, 58 minus 4 equals 54. So that would be your answer there. So let's go back to number 6. It says write the correct temperature. We have learned that water boils at 212 degrees Fahrenheit. But now we're going to learn the Celsius. So water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. So that's B. And C is water freezes at 32 degrees Fahrenheit. We've learned that. But D is our new material. Water freezes at 0 degrees Celsius. So we need to add that into our memory bank. Normal body temperature is 98.6 Fahrenheit. And then the normal body temperature is 37 degrees Celsius. So those are new measurements that we need to learn and memorize. And I will take a picture of it so you guys have that, so you have that information for this page. All right, so that was review. Let's move on to science. We're going to talk about the stars today. When people gaze into the night sky, they may believe that there are too many stars to count. Actually, there are about 6,000 stars that can be seen from the Earth with the unaided eye. So that means without a telescope or anything. Astronomers often classify stars according to their surface temperature and magnitude, which is their brightness. These scientists look at the size, mass, color, and chemical composition of stars to aid in their classification. How bright a star is? Looks depends on 2 things. Is it distant from the Earth in its magnitude or brightness? Scientists can determine the temperature and chemical composition of a star by studying its color. Blue and white stars are the hottest, whereas red stars are the coolest. Now, we probably would have thought different because red is usually associated with fire or warm. The sun is a yellow star and therefore it's in the middle range of temperature. Stars range in size from much smaller to hundreds of times larger than the sun, which is a yellow dwarf star. Giant and supergiant stars are much larger than the sun. The reason people cannot see the stars during the day is because the Earth's atmosphere scatters the sun's bright light. So that's kind of an introduction, kind of goes over what you're going to read today. You're going to read about stars on page 167. And then on 168, you're going to answer the questions of the descriptions of the stars. If you have any questions, just let your parents know and they can ask me. I hope you guys have a great day.